What? Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. Been kicking shit popping out daily. Go.
I did not want to do my edges, so I just put on a headband. So don't give that any attention. But before I get started, do you guys like my drawing? Anyways, so today I want to, well, first of all, how are you guys? I am so sorry for my absence. I have just been doing so much, and I'm sorry for my absence. That's first of all. I hope you guys are doing okay. That's first of all, okay? But today I wanted to talk about something a little serious, you know? How to move on, or when do you know it is the right time to move on? To me, and this is just my advice, you don't have to take it, but I'm telling you, this is what works best for me, because every time I see somebody talking about how to get over him, how to get over her, how to move on, they always say the same thing. They always say, oh, just forget about him, just forget about her, just distract yourself, da da da. And it's just like, that does not work for everybody. And I don't like that they push a very repetitive narrative that is not suitable for everybody. So I'm just gonna tell you what works for me. To me, there are two options. Option number one is, well, okay, before you even get into the options, there is a decision that you need to make. And actually, I want to make this diverse. This is for everybody, but I'm just going to speak from the perspective of a female. But just to give you a solid example, but this does apply to anybody, regardless of what type of relationship it is, okay? So, you need to make the decision yourself. Is it really over? Or is this something that there is a possibility that we might get back? Those are the two things you need to heavily contemplate on, because that decision will heavily impact the next step I'm about to tell you. And I recommend you take about 7 days, because if you just make the decision right now today, you might change your mind tomorrow or 2 days. So that's why I recommend you take at least 7 days, a week, to fully decide, think it through, and stick to that decision. Because if you say, okay, things are pretty bad, yeah, he blocked me on everything, we don't talk at all, he completely hates me, but I still feel like there's a chance, that little bit of chance, whatever percentage of a chance you feel it is, it's very necessary. Now, if you decide, okay, it's over, it's done, this is really not gonna work out, me myself, I don't even have the energy to keep this going, if that's the decision you have made, then the answer to that is very simple. And I know you don't want to hear this, but the answer is leave it alone. And I know you hear that everywhere. Everybody keeps saying, leave it alone, move on, get over it. And it's easier said than done, especially if you have a really long history and it's something you really are going to miss. It is going to be very difficult. However, depending on what relationship you guys had, depending on the situation, I could give details, I could give advice in detail, but I really don't know what each individual person is going through. I don't know their situation. But if you have a specific situation and you want specific detailed advice, oh my gosh, just let me know. You don't have to leave a public comment. You can reach out to me on any of my social media, so I can give you a detailed explanation on what to do and the best route to take. Now, I'm not a licensed, I'm not licensed to do anything. I'm just giving you my personal advice, so just be aware of that. So if that's the choice that you chose, then please understand that although everybody is saying it, it's extremely vital that you really, and I don't even like to say distract yourself, because at the end of the day, when you're not distracting yourself, what's going to happen? Those thoughts and those memories of the relationship are going to come back. So when people say, oh, just distract yourself from that breakup. At the end of the day, you can't be busy 24/7. There's times where you have nothing to do, where you're in a normal state of mind and you have nothing to do but to ponder and think. And in those cases, when you're not busy distracting yourselves, of course those thoughts are going to come back, and you're going to start to feel like, okay, I have to push these thoughts away, I have to try my heart, and that's unnecessarily tedious. That's not something you should have to do. So I don't like to say distract yourself. What I would rather say is replace those memories with better ones. So find something new that you like to do and make new memories with that. I don't know if that makes sense. So say me and my ex went to the movies all the time. That was our thing, and that's what I have constant memories of, and it reminds me of our breakup. Instead of going to the movies, because of course a movie will remind you of that, you can start painting. And every time you paint, you're creating new memories of new pictures, new drawings. You are becoming an artist. Those are the memories you're going to replace. I don't know if that example even made sense, but that's the best way I can explain it. And then once you have replaced those memories, try your very hardest, and I know it's going to be difficult, but please try your very hardest to completely exclude any thought, any memory, any physical I guess memorabilia that you may have of that person, and you never let that come back into your life. And that's pretty much, once again, I can't go into detail, but I don't know everybody's situation. So yeah, that is the answer for if you chose to completely be done with that relationship. It's over. There's no, oh, we might get back to, no, none of that. If that's the route you chose, then that is the method you need to take. Now, if you decided and came to the conclusion of, okay, yeah, things are going pretty bad, but I still have faith that this might genuinely work out. Although it seems like it's done, I still have just a little bit of hope left. Even if it's a 5% of hope, that is enough. That's all you need. And in that case, once again, it depends on the situation you're in. Maybe you've been blocked on everything. Maybe he got custody of whatever. Maybe he kicked you out. Maybe he is, spreading rumors. It really depends on the situation that you and your partner are in. But the overview of it is, you do everything in your power. You exhaust every single option there is to getting him or her back. And that's why I like to say, if say maybe he blocked you, right? And that's the situation you're in. To exhaust every option might be, okay, actually, that's a bad example. Forget I even said that. But I'm trying to find a good example. Say you guys are living together, but he's ignoring you. To exhaust every option to make sure he speaks to you again might be, buy him something, let him know that, acknowledge his anger and why he's upset, and try to get down to the root of that problem and try to talk it out. Even if he's ignoring you, you try everything in your power to get him to speak to you. That is called exhausting every option. And I can give millions of examples of exhausting every option, but once again, it depends on your situation, because you might be blocked, you might be getting ignored, he might have ghosted you, you might it really just depends. So I can't necessarily go into detail about that. But okay, so once you have exhausted every option, you keep going until you've gotten him back. And it might take a couple days, it might take a couple weeks, it might take a couple months, it might take a couple years, but eventually if you've exhausted every option, I guarantee you he will come back. I guarantee you that, if you've exhausted every option. And if you're still unsure about what exhaust every option means, once again, just let me know in my social media, tell me your situation, and I will tell you how to exhaust every option based on your situation. Now, if you've exhausted every option to the best of your ability, and you feel like, okay, I've done everything in my power and nothing's working, then that's when it's time to decide, do I really want to keep going and going until hopefully someday we are back together? Or do you want to say, you know what, I've tried every option, now I know for sure it's really not going to work, I'm going to let it go? That's now the decision you need to make. And that's a very difficult decision, because to just leave somebody that you have a very long connection with, it's not easy. It's really not, regardless of what you've been through, the right or the wrong. It's just not an easy decision to make. So that is also something that you would have to take a while to genuinely contemplate on. Which one is it? Am I going to keep exhausting every option, or am I going to completely be done? And if you choose to completely be done, then you want to go back to the first thing I told you, and that is distract everything you've been doing trying to get back with him. Just distract yourself with something new, and you make new and better memories. If you chose to keep exhausting every option, regardless of if it's taking you years, then you keep doing that until you decide, I want to give up, or you decide, okay, finally I've gotten him back. Okay. I feel like there was a better way I could have explained this. But I really am trying to articulate in the best way I can possible. I'm seeing a lot of, especially women, who are really struggling mentally to get over their past relationships, regardless of if they're the reason that the relationship ended, regardless of if their partner was the reason the relationship ended. It's always going to be difficult on anyone. And let me just say this. If you've ended things, speaking from a female's perspective, regardless of how you guys separated, I know some females like to think, oh, he's not thinking about me, he's probably with a new girl already, he never cared about me. That boy is still thinking about you. He really is still thinking about you. And as much as you would like to believe that he has moved on and he doesn't love you anymore, there's still a little part of you left in him. As much as the male species like to act like they don't care and they're okay, deep down they really do care, and it really does to an extent hurt them, whether it was their fault or your fault that the relationship ended. To a certain degree, to a certain extent, they do care, and they do reminisce, and they do have those memories. And maybe they just don't show it as much as females, but they do have those. Another thing that would help is this advice I'm about to give is for people who still have hope in getting back with their partner. It's about the subconscious mind. I'm not a psychic or I'm not none of that. But what I have learned is that even when things feel completely impossible, I mean impossible, like there's no return, if you can train the subconscious mind to genuinely believe that things are going to get better for you. And this is universal. It's not just for relationship problems. Anything, whether you just lost a job, whether your car is just got in a wreck and you can't afford to fix it, whether you have no food in your fridge, whether your bills are late, regardless of what bad situation you're in, if you can train the subconscious mind to genuinely believe that you are going to get out of the situation you're in, you will get out of that situation. I don't care what anybody else thinks. There are studies proven on this. Train your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is what you believe without forcing yourself to believe it, if that makes sense. So if you are telling yourself subconsciously, I am going to get money, I am going to get out of the situation I'm in, I am going to get back with this person, whatever your case is, then once you genuinely start to believe it, it will genuinely start to happen. Believe it or don't believe it, you can try it yourself and tell me. But I'm telling you, subconscious mind is a very powerful thing. And I'm a very spiritual person, so that's something I felt I needed to include in this. If you're also a spiritual person, then you should to some extent understand what I'm talking about. Don't forget to manifest as well. Manifest, pray, subconscious mind. Those are the keys to acquiring anything you desire in life. And before I end this video, I just want to make it very clear, and right now I'm speaking to everybody. You as an individual do not need anybody to make you feel wanted, loved, included. You don't need anybody to feel that way. And I know you hear this from everybody, so you're probably thinking, oh, I hear that every day. But I'm so serious. You were brought into this world as an individual by yourself, living your life by yourself. To just let somebody come in your life and make you feel dependent on them, that's wrong. You were living your life before you met them, and you're going to live your life after them. Okay? I just wanted to put that out there because I hate when I see specifically women doubting their self-esteem, doubting themselves and their appearance because somebody else made them feel like they were not good enough, and that's wrong. And to make somebody feel that way is one of the worst things you can do to somebody, especially a female. And so that's why in every one of my videos, you always hear me saying that you are the beauty standard, and you hear me saying you're beautiful and I love you, because it's true. You're all very beautiful. And who are we as humans to say this person's ugly, this person is attractive, this person is... Who are we to say who's ugly and who's not? At the end of the day, whatever you believe in, I believe God made everybody different for a reason. So if everybody's different and unique in their own way, who are you to say this is ugly, this is attractive, this is unattractive, this is pretty, this is, who are we to give people those labels when everybody is different? Maybe if everybody looked the same, then maybe, yeah, you could put them in those categories, but everybody is different. So yeah. But to the females, please don't ever depend on a man for anything. It's okay to be alone. It really is. And it's easier said than done, because I've been with some guys, and unfortunately I felt very dependent on them. I felt like, okay, if I don't have them, I'm not gonna be okay. But you don't need a man for anything. Nothing. Not at all. There's nothing a man can do for you that you cannot do for yourself. And I really want everyone to believe that, because it's true. And you are all so beautiful, so talented. Use the advice I gave you and let me know if it works for you. But if you want more videos like this, I would be happy to give them. Other than that, that's going to conclude this video because I don't want to make it too long. But I love you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share, or don't. I would just really appreciate it if you do. Once again, you are the beauty standard. I love you all more than you could ever imagine. And to anybody who is going through anything, I feel for you. And I don't ever like to say I know how you're feeling, because I don't. I've never been in your situations. I've never been in your shoes. I don't know what it's like to go through what you're going through. But what I can tell you is that I'm trying to find the best way to word this, so forgive me for my long pauses, but what I can tell you is that how do I word this? Oh my gosh. What I can't tell you I know how you feel because I've never been in the situation you're in, but what I can tell you is that I see the pain that you're going through. And maybe I might have experienced the pain that you're going through, maybe not the exact situation, but the pain I have experienced. And I wouldn't even wish that pain on my worst enemy, which is why I'm very empathetic towards anybody going through anything. But I want you to know that it is going to be okay. You know, time moves on, time heals. And it's a very true statement, you know. Before you know it, a year is going to pass and you're not even going to remember about it. So if you don't do anything, don't give up. Please do not. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for me. Because I want to see you live. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you thrive. And so, sorry for making this too long. But I really do love you guys. You're all the beauty standards. I hope you guys have a great day or night. Make sure you follow my TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, which is Taliyah TK, TALIYAH TK. Once again, I love you all so much. You're all beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.